Okay, let's do this. Hi guys, it's Minx here, and I am joined by Sino. How you doing, Sino?
I'm cold as fuck.
It's pretty cold here as well, and I'm too cheap to put the heating on. So,
Yeah, me too. Me too.
you know.
The
Anyway,
UK. Yeah. Don't come here,
don't,
shit.
don't come to England. It fucking sucks. Or Scotland.
Excuse
Or
me.
the UK.
Thank you. Okay.
The ook.
Yeah. So now that we are no longer going to get sponsored by the UK Tourist Board,
Mhm.
let's get right into certain comments from a certain video that we did recently.
Upset people. Well, to be fair, I don't think most people were upset, but a small percentage of people were upset. And as this is a hot button issue right now on the interwebs, making the real news on news things, websites,
Yes, such
and
as
stuff,
I won't say it.
such as websites that I don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Then we decided we were going to talk about it too, because we feel it's important to address certain things, especially about the series, but also to address Bear Simulator as a whole. Because I was quite surprised by the reaction. I must admit, when I uploaded that video, I just thought everyone would be like, lol, 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 it's shit, lol, 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 lol. I didn't actually know the backstory of what was going on at the time. I hadn't seen Pewds' video.
It's become a thing, right? You know.
Yeah, it's become a thing. I didn't really know it was when we uploaded it, to be honest with you. So, I'm obviously out the loop. But yes, Bear Simulator. A fair number of you were upset. A few, in general, I think there's quite a lot of outrage at the moment that a lot of people didn't enjoy this game and made videos saying they didn't enjoy this game.
Uh-huh.
And as a result, the developer has thrown his toys out his proverbial gaming pram and said he's not going to update the game anymore.
It says it's a lost cause or
Yeah,
something.
he said a lost cause. He said he didn't have the skill to fix the problems with it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an interesting statement for him to make. He also, so just so you don't know, we didn't know this at the time of the video either, but there was a Kickstarter for Bear Simulator. How much did it ask for originally, Sene?
It asked for $29,500 originally on Kickstarter, the website.
And they got how much?
They got $100,571.
So considerably over the original goal.
Way over the goal.
And then they also charged $20. I'm assuming £10.99, or is it $15? It might be something like that though. Probably $15 actually for the game.
For the actual retail release. So if you hadn't backed it, you'd have to pay that much to play it. And
Which we did.
Yeah, And before anybody corrects it, yeah, he did say on the Kickstarter or whatever that he was going to update the game to give some of the stuff that he promised and then stop. But basically, he's just going to fulfill some obligations and then he won't update the game anymore. You're not going to get this wonderfully expansive experience. He's just going to do a couple of things and then that's it because he decided
he's not going to do as much as he planned.
Yeah.
His plans have changed because of content on YouTube.
Correct.
Pretty much.
Negative reaction.
Negative reaction on YouTube.
Including censored Steam reviews as well. He censored some Steam reviews that are negative. Yeah. So that's also
always never really a good thing to do as a dev. Anyway, a few of you were fairly upset about this, and we'd like to address some of the comments as well as just some things about SOS as a whole. So we're going to move on with obviously the comment I already responded to on the video, but we're going to respond to it and break down my reply a bit and that kind of shit. So here we go.
Okay, so I'll read it out. So here is something I really want to know. Is it right to call the product of a one-man dev team shit and then offer literally no ways to improve the game outside of, wow, this game is shit. Why did people back this game? I like your content, Minx, and I think you're hilarious, but I'm seriously considering unsubscribing since you're just using a person's first attempt into the industry as bait so you can tear it down to get views. If you want to make a better game, go right ahead. Otherwise, remember your influence and remember that your opinion can make or break someone else's dream to become a video game designer.
You know what, Sene? I have decided that I'm going to make a movie. I have no experience making movies. I know nothing about making movies, but I'm going to make one.
Okay.
I think $250,000 Kickstarter should probably be a good place to start off.
Indie movie, okay, yeah,
Yeah, it's an indie movie, I'm not going to go full out on special effects. I actually don't know how to do them or anything. I'm then going to charge $20 to watch the film online on various streaming services. And I'm sure everyone's going to love it. Everyone.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. I mean, I've seen your YouTube videos. Your editing is about on par with mine.
Yep.
We're both shit, to be honest. But you know what? Yeah, I mean, charging $20 for that, even though you're going to get tons of money anyway, probably, yeah, fine.
Sounds
Whatever.
reasonable. Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, even though you have no knowledge.
Even though I have no knowledge. The basic point here is, it's the most ridiculous thing. Make a game yourself is one of the most ridiculous defenses ever of criticism.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a lazy like logical fallacy that people come to. It's just like, well, if you don't like it, you should be doing better. Then it's like you can't live in a world where you're not allowed to criticize things unless you can make better than that thing.
I
Doesn't
can't make it. So this is what if I ever made a game, which I might do one day. I mean, I've been thinking about like having a look at it. You know what I
Mhm.
would do? I wouldn't make a very good game because you know why? Because I don't know how to make games very much, and I'd be learning on the fly.
Mhm.
And so if I made said game, I would probably release. Well, I would release that game free of charge on a free service like itch.io or whatever. You know, something like that, and that would be it. Because the game would not be worth paying for, and I certainly wouldn't ask for 30,000 up front.
So, yeah, for your first foray into the industry, apparently.
Yeah,
Which I'm not even. I
I'm
don't
not
really
sure if
know.
that's true. We don't know if that's
If
true or
that's
not.
true, right? He could have been on some team and then decided to just do this himself. But
Probably
yeah,
not, though.
like
It's pretty shit.
I mean, yeah, I mean, look, I kind of feel bad because I think for a lot of developers, they get this thing where they release a game and maybe it doesn't get like the traction that they want, and they feel kind of like, ugh, there's like a sort of post-release depression or whatever that a lot of devs have. And then, especially if you start to get negative reactions, a lot of people get reactions being like, you're a woman making a game, you're a fucking idiot, or, you know, whatever, like stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, exactly.
It
But
can be harsh, but at the
that
same
applies
time,
to any medium. If you release anything into the public space, you are I get death threats on a regular, like almost every other day because
Mhm.
of my opinions on video games, including this one actually. And you know what? That's kind of what you do when you get stuff put out there. You just deal with it.
I don't want to.
Unfortunately.
I don't want to be part of an industry or whatever where everybody's wearing these kiddie gloves just in case. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Like, because that's not real criticism, and people are going to hate it. Some people are going to love it. Certain big YouTubers didn't like this game. Certain big YouTubers loved it. So maybe they cancel each other out. Maybe all of this publicity has been kind of good for
Well, I
Beer
wouldn't say they
Simulator.
loved it, but yeah, go on.
Well, managed to make it look
Make
fun.
the best of a bad situation.
Made
It's
the
probably
best of a very bad situation indeed.
Oh,
Oh
very
dear.
good. But yeah, a lot of people, not just this comment, also leveled the fact that we didn't give any criticism on how to improve the game. I feel that we did. Like I could, from that video, the video speaks for itself, in my opinion. Obviously, the things they could do to make the game better. Obviously, graphically, it needs an overhaul because it was pretty terrible. Remove the terrible motion sickness because it was really badly done. Okay.
Or have an
Just
option to turn it off.
have an option to turn it off.
Yeah.
Have just more things to do. The combat was buggy. You see a rabbit running into a wall. Repeat. I killed each rabbit because they glitched out.
Mm-hmm.
That was
And
the only reason
I've
I
seen
killed them.
videos of like later enemies and like they just walk on the spot and then they turn around like suddenly and start attacking you. Like the AI is not programmed properly. And this is a game that has been released on Steam for £11, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like there are plenty of other
In the
games.
indie space, that is a lot of money.
Yeah,
That is a
some of
lot
the
of
stuff
money.
that we say is shit on SOS is like 79 pence, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't matter if it's shit because it's only 79 pence. Like we
This-
usually
is 11.
mention that, you
Yeah.
know, 11 quid. This is a lot.
That's
you
like
know?
that in dollars to put in space is like $18-$20. It's probably on sale for 15 in the US because like things scale differently, but that's still a lot.
Yeah,
You know
that
what
is
I
a
mean?
lot of money for something where the AI isn't even functional.
And for something where there isn't any like the what you do in the game, you walk around and eat, and that unlocks more abilities. Another criticism that you can obviously see demonstrably in the video is if you eat the food, you level up. Yeah, it took us fucking ages. Just have a level up quicker. That
Yeah.
would have been something.
Yeah,
you know?
the first enemies in the game shouldn't be rabbit that doesn't run properly
And duck you can't hit.
duck that you can't hit. Like even if they're trying to make the duck seem like a thing where it's like, hey, one day you'll be able to kill this, but you can't at the moment, so it's like some sort of incentive. Like the first things in the game are like a grub, that rabbit thing, and then a duck. They're boring enemies. They're not fun. They don't get you into the game. We've said on SOS before when we are giving legitimate criticism that you need to make the beginning of your game have some sort of hook because that's what everybody is going to see in a game. People aren't going to usually see the end. Like the least amount of people will see your game end, but everybody will see your game begin usually. So that's where you need to put in like a lot of effort to make the game hook people in, and it doesn't. Like it's kind of like, oh, okay, here's an interesting concept, and then there isn't enough to do in the environment, so you just kind of wonder about, and it begins to feel boring. There you go. There's the criticism, you know.
Exactly. Before we continue with the hate comments, I have a comment here that I'd like to read. It says, "Is Since male or female?" How do you feel about that?
The answer is yes.
Uh-huh.
That's it, confirmed. Nobody can ever
Confirmed.
ask about it anymore. The answer is yes to that question.
Okay, so another type of comment that we got a reasonable amount of actually is a comment that I sometimes see on videos, and I just want to address them. I want to point out that this is no way a shot to other YouTubers or anything like that. I'm not criticizing other people's styles here. Like, obviously, there is significantly greater audience for content that other YouTubers make over me. You know what I mean? But we are making content that we enjoy ourselves, and it's to appeal to a certain demographic. Do you think that's fair to say, Sino?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So, for example, I like this one. This one says, "Not to rain on your egotistical parade." Wait, I like that bit. By the way, the first bit. I like the sort
Very
of jabber.
flirty.
It's very
Yeah.
nice little, like you cunts, like come on,
Yeah, a little stab,
little stab.
in the leg,
But
little
even
hamstring.
but even Mark managed to play this game properly. I think that's quite insulting to Mark actually. Even Mark managed to play this game properly. If he can do it and you can't, that's just sad. Can I just say I did watch Mark's video, and obviously Mark has a very upbeat style. He plays games in a very positive manner. We don't, but he obviously is going into it to make a fun video. You know what I mean? A feel-good video. Whereas we are making satire. We are making something that obviously isn't for everyone and is designed to kind of be a little bit negative. I would say, in the way we approach things.
The British concept of the piss take.
Yeah, a British concept of a piss take. That's what we do on this show. And I wouldn't say he played it properly. I would say he just made more of the game than we did. He got a lot further. He saw a lot more. But essentially, not a lot else happens in the game, really, other than what was in our video. You run around as a bear. You eat stuff. You kill stuff. You explore. And, yeah.
I don't think the deep story about the humans is that deep that people keep sort of saying, like, oh,
yeah,
you find out where.
It's not. I watched quite a lot of footage of the game this week as a response to, everyone's criticism, and I can safely say that I have seen nothing that made me want to play the game more. Go back, we'll give it another chance. Yeah. Because it is terrible.
Or the combat gets really good, or blah, blah, blah. No.
It's like Dark Souls with a bear. But you know what I mean? Like I say, no offense to Mark here, but I'm just playing. We make very different content. And if you don't enjoy that type of content, it's probably not a good idea to watch our videos, really, in general. Because you should know what to expect. You know what I mean? You're not going to get us, going, oh, bears! Bears! No, you know what I mean?
Awesome!
Yeah,
we have exactly 1 second of the game and we're saying that, no.
We're going to be like, this is shit, after 10 seconds, because the walking animation made me want to actually physically be sick on my keyboard.
Yeah. Let's face it, SOS usually has 3 kind of categories. This is shit and I hate it. This is shit, what the fuck, it's funny. Or this is shit, wait, actually it's kind of good.
And this moves us into another comment by Gemini Doodle here. I used to really like SOS, but recently it just feels like you guys just play a game for 2-3 minutes and call it shit without offering literally any clever commentary at all. I'm really disappointed. And I feel that, to a certain degree, this is a fair comment to make. And I don't think this guy's being a dick or anything. Or girl. I'm just saying that the problem is we play these games on the fly, ad hoc. We just go in blind, not really knowing what's going on, just to do it. Yeah, we do pick the games on the basis of them having terrible Steam reviews usually, right?
Yeah, games that just look like they're probably going to be bad.
Yeah, games where the install description is written so badly that I have no idea what it means is always good. I like that. But anyway, I want to say that I feel that sometimes the commentary isn't that good on some of the videos because there's nothing to say. There is nothing to say.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. SOS has an inconsistency, but that inconsistency is usually because the game is, just not interesting. There's a difference between bad and funny and bad and boring.
Yeah.
And some of these games are just bad and boring, and it's hard to make a big deal out of fuck all happening in the game. So yeah, there are going to be some episodes that are funnier. There's going to be your Russian horror story ones where we find it really funny, and then there's going to be some where we're just like, fuck this.
Like Bear Simulator, where it's just nothing. It's nothing. You know what I mean? I wasn't even that angry about it. I just expected it. It was just shit. It was just generic shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, that perhaps a fair criticism, but I don't think it's necessarily our fault that sometimes we're given just nothing.
I think it's the nature of the series, I would say, more than anything else, in my opinion. That moves us on to another. I'm not going to address this specifically, but other people were like, "Oh, other people made 4 or 5 videos of this and had lots to say." I watched quite a few people who'd done 4 or 5 videos of this, and most of them weren't talking about the game. They were just talking about other shit because there was nothing else to fucking say. They were talking about like their favorite, like we did, their favorite bears.
Their favorite, yeah, exactly. What's your favorite bear? Just random shit because they're
Yeah.
not talking about the game because the game is boring.
Yeah.
Sorry, it is.
It
but
is,
that's it.
and I must say, like I feel that the dev having 100 grand and then producing this,
Mhm.
and then saying he's not going to update it more is, I'm not going to say it's shady, but I do think it's pretty unpleasant behavior on the dev's part, in my opinion.
I don't feel that sorry for them, and I understand it can be like a psychological tool to put yourself out there and have like this big wave of people being like you're shit, right? But he's not. You know, he's got himself into a rather good position, and then all of a sudden he's just immediately stopped because he's had this like backlash. That's kind of shitty for the people who wanted more out of this. You know?
Yeah,
really is.
that is shitty. But like I say, if you're putting yourself out there as a dev or anything in any space, you should be ready to take criticism, regardless. You know what I mean? And the game has, like, I think mostly positive reviews on Steam as well. It's like some people do like I don't know if like half the world's doing drugs or something, but apparently some people did enjoy this a reasonable amount. Some of the games like White Mirror, which is complete fucking terrible, have like mostly positive reviews on Steam, and I don't understand why.
People will just convince themselves of any old shit.
Yeah,
honestly.
I bought this. I invested in this. I have to justify the fact that I'd made a bad investment by saying it's good, and I feel that's a major case of what's going on here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Brandon Bevel. Brandon actually has commented a few times recently, and he sort of feels that we sometimes jump into a game too quickly and are ready to call it shit and things like that. I mean, we did address this like in the comment section. Like, Brandon's I feel a nice guy. He's having some good points here. We do go into things trying to be funny. We do go into things trying to be scathing. This isn't a serious review show. Our review scores aren't real. They're not like, there's no consistency between them. They're just meant to be dumb.
Yeah, I wouldn't go into some prestigious games review website or magazine and be like, oh, I'd give this 2 decaying limbs out of 10 or whatever. You know, they're obviously, the reason why we say this stupid shit when we're giving the scores is
because
it's a parody.
Yeah,
it's a parody.
Game review scores, in their very essence, in my opinion, are pointless and stupid, and we're trying to give like our own ridiculous point of view to this arbitrary thing that has become part of like reviewing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just want to clarify that. Like, Brandon suggested we play the games up front and things like that. I don't think that would work because we'd be screening them so much that it wouldn't have that instant reaction. We wouldn't laugh as much if we'd seen the character's face in that pregnancy one we played smeared across the walls the first time round. You know, it wouldn't be a genuine reaction.
That was a pure moment of reaction, and we wouldn't be able to replicate that second. It would be fake if we were trying to replicate it a second time. You know, we'd be going through the motions and trying to laugh about something that really wasn't.
And that would remove what's fun for SOS. I love watching just the genuine chaos at how bad these games are unfold.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
So,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Brandon is a nice guy. He makes some good points. But there's a reply here by Alec Kanda. I don't if I know I said that right, but you know, whatever. They said, yeah, unfortunately in this SOS series, Minx just calls games shit, even decent ones. Actually, you can do it with any game. Just start it, run around, call it shit, and quit. How would you feel? What do you feel about that, Seno? I mean, obviously you don't call it shit, just me. But you know.
If you think it's so easy, Alexander, why don't you do an SOS series on YouTube yourself?
Oh God.
You know, I the whole point of this series, folks, is that we don't spend tons of time on the games, and a lot of the time we say, hey, this game looks like it could have been pretty good if we played more of it. I guess there could sometimes be things in games that we're missing out on, but I'm not playing.
We have fucked up. We have fucked up on some games, I would say, but this isn't one of them. We fucked up on Pony Island.
Pony Island is one that we both were like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I said I thought it was going to be good. And then apparently it was, but that was just me kind of, you know, guessing. Okay, maybe one day we'll do it on a stream.
But
together.
This game isn't meant to be like some fucking. Again, we're not like fucking. No. The dev of Pony Island wasn't heartbroken at our review. I'm sure. You know what I mean.
It's not like we're playing Firewatch and Oxenfree and playing it for 5 minutes and being like, "This is bullshit." You
the
can't
Walking
even
Dead.
do a jump.
There's not a full game here. I only played 10 minutes. Walking Dead, whatever it's called, the new one.
Michonne.
Yeah.
Michonne. Yeah. We're not sitting there playing fucking, I don't know, the Citizen Kane of video games and being like, yeah, it's shit in it, and then just turning it off. Like, we're playing games that probably...
We're playing Bear Simulator, guys! Yeah. Fucking Bear Simulator! Bear... Okay, and In this, let me wrap things up now. We're done, Seno, but this is my last few points. In the video, we see enemies running into walls. We see nothing happening. We see abilities that can't be unlocked before you spend ages looking for food, and then you just have to press use to eat the food, and then that's it. That's the game. That's the fucking game. That's what you do. You eat. Yeah. There's nothing. It's just nothing. It's boring. It's tedious. The guy took 100 grand and made something that looks like it cost 5,000 to make.
Yeah, and there's people who have had fuck all and have made better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
and it costs as much as Stardew Valley does. Just buy Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley was made by one. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's my guy made it." Stardew Valley was made by one person, and it's infinitely a billion times better than that. And it didn't take 100 grand on fucking Kickstarter.
Anyway, I think we've made our point.
Yeah. We're sticking with our guns on Bear Simulator.
No, it's great. I love it.
Fuck. Oh, this game's so much fun. Oh, jumping, lol.
FatherJ.com, you nailed it. I love it. Thank you.
Anyway,
that's it.
We're done. We'll if we make another video that upsets loads of you, we'll do this again.
So if you want to see that happen, folks,
if you want to see that happen, folks, get offended. Fucking idiots.
Yeah. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.